At sunrise, the valley was still half asleep, wrapped in a hush so soft it felt like the earth was holding its breath. And it was in that quiet, before the roosters crowed, before the fields stirred, that a single choice set everything in motion. A choice that began with a borrowed rope and ended with a lesson no one in the village would ever forget. Old Farmer Tom was known for his easy grin and the way he slapped your back as though you were an old friend, whether you'd met him once or 100 times. But behind that grin lived a habit he kept hidden. He loved to take advantage of trust. Not cruelly, just conveniently. If someone lent him a tool, it always took a little longer to return. If someone helped him harvest, he forgot to repay the favor. Little things, he told himself. Harmless things. One windy morning, Tom realized he needed a long, sturdy rope to haul a fallen branch off his barn roof. His own rope was frayed, worn thin from years of weather. So he walked down the road to his neighbor, Eli, a quiet man with calloused hands and a reputation for keeping his word sharper than a plough blade. "Eli," Tom called, "mind lending me that fine rope of yours, just for the day?" Eli didn't hesitate. He disappeared into his shed, returned with the thick, well-kept rope, and placed it gently into Tom's hands. "Take care of it," he said. "It's the best one I've got." Tom nodded, but he was already thinking ahead. Maybe, he mused, if the rope proved useful, he could keep it for a bit. Just a bit. Eli wouldn't rush him. Neighbors should be patient, shouldn't they? The rope worked perfectly that day, so perfectly that Tom used it again the next, and soon enough it became part of his daily chores. And every time he walked past Eli's house, he quickened his steps, pretending he didn't see the man sitting on the porch, waiting politely for the rope's return. Then came the storm. Wind barreled down the valley like a herd of wild horses, rain hammering the fields until the soil turned to soup. Tom had tied his animals' shelter doors tightly with Eli's rope. But the storm was stronger, much stronger. One violent gust snapped a beam, the door blew open, and the animals panicked. In the chaos, a post collapsed, and the rope, Eli's rope, was torn free and swept into the roaring stream that ran behind Tom's farm. By morning, it was gone. When the skies cleared, Tom tried to shake the weight in his stomach, but the truth clung to him like wet wool. He had taken advantage of kindness, and now he had nothing to give back. Still, Eli deserved to know. Tom walked to his neighbor's porch, heart thudding like a hammer on an anvil. Eli looked up, calm, steady, expectant. "I lost your rope," Tom muttered. "I used it too long, didn't return it, and now it's gone." For a moment, the only sound was the soft drip of water sliding off the porch roof. Eli sighed, not angry, not surprised, just tired. "Tom," he said gently, "a rope can be replaced, but trust." He shook his head. "That takes far longer to mend." And that was the moment the truth struck harder than any storm. Tom realized he hadn't lost a rope. He'd lost something woven from years of neighborly goodwill, something far more precious. That evening, Tom walked into town and bought the strongest, finest rope he could afford. Then he carried it to Eli's porch and placed it at his feet. Not as repayment, but as a promise that he'd do better, that he'd earn back what he'd let slip through his fingers. Sometimes it isn't the storm that breaks what we value most. Sometimes it's the small, selfish choices we convince ourselves don't matter. But they do. Thank you for listening. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe to help the channel grow.